Hey guys, what is up? Are you in the stock market searching for the next Tesla but you have no idea where to start looking for companies like that? Or are you in the stock market looking for a high growth ETF to invest for the long-term horizon? Well, look no further, you have came to the right video. And as you can guess from the title, I will be covering ARK Invest, whom offers some of the best performing ETFs over the last 5 years. And if that's something that interests you, stick around until the end of this video because I'm sure the information presented in this video will blow your mind away. Today I will be covering the following few items. First, what is ARK Invest? Next, what are the ARK Invest actively managed ETFs? And I'll talk about what each of them means, what are the top 10 holdings as well as their historical performance. And lastly, I will share with you how you can invest in ARK Invest. I appreciate if you can smack the like button below, subscribe if you haven't already, and without further ado, let's jump right into today's content. Let us start with what is ARK Invest. If today is your first time learning about ARK Invest, buckle up because ARK Invest offers a totally different investing methodology as opposed to the usual ETFs and funds that you can find out there. Founded in 2014 and led by the legendary fund manager Cathie, ARK Invest invests into disruptive technology that can potentially change the way the world works. By definition, disruptive technology is an innovation that significantly alters the way that consumers, industries, or businesses operate. In simple terms, by investing into ARK Invest, you are investing into companies who could potentially be the next Apple, Google, Tesla, and Amazon, and so many more. Quoting ARK Invest, disruptive innovation is often not priced correctly by traditional investment strategies because people may not understand how big the ultimate opportunities are going to be. They aren't sizing the opportunity and they aren't analyzing the disruption. And rightfully so. ARK Invest was one of the earliest funds that invest into Tesla, and Cathie has been very vocal with her conviction for Tesla ever since. Back in April 2019, as Tesla was trading under $200 per share pre-split or $40 post-split, Cathie told the public that Tesla's valuation is worth more than that, a whopping $4,000 pre-split or $800 post-split. At the time, no one would believe her. Everyone said that she was delusional because for you to set a price target of $800 when the Tesla was trading at $400 pre-split, you are expecting a prediction of 20x, and that is a very bold target. Today, it is trading around $700 per share, or about 18 times from where Tesla was trading at the time. And ever since, Cathie would raise her price target for Tesla to $7,000 pre-split or $1,400 post-split due to the increased electric vehicle demand and the development of the autonomous taxis. So by now you should get an idea what ARK ETF is about. An active ETF led by visionary leaders that beats almost every traditional fund managers out there with their very unique valuation methodology that is almost impossible to replicate. ARK ETF by itself is a disruptive ETF that is set to rock the financial market. Now, let's dive deeper into ARK Invest. There are 5 actively managed ETFs under ARK Invest, namely ARK Innovation ETF, ticker symbol ARKK, Autonomous Robotics and Technology ETF, ticker symbol ARKQ, Next Generation ETF, ticker symbol ARKW, Genomic Revolution ETF, ticker symbol ARKG, and lastly Fintech Innovation ETF, ticker symbol ARKF. Let's start with ARK Innovation ETF, ticker ARKK. As its name sounds, ARK invests into innovative companies that can benefit from the development of new products or services, technological improvements, and advancements in scientific research related disruptive innovation across all of its other ETFs. In other words, ARKK is the umbrella of the entire ARK Invest portfolio, basically focusing on companies from multiple industries that can innovate and change how the incumbent industry works. With a fund assets under management of $8.9 billion and an expense ratio of 0.75%, ARKK is currently trading at $124 per share with a 52 weeks low of $33 to a 52-week high of $137 per share. ARKK's top 10 holdings include huge names such as Tesla, who is the leader of the electric vehicle industry led by visionary CEO Elon Musk. I believe Tesla need no further introduction. Next, they have Invitae Corp, a genetic information company aimed at bringing comprehensive information into mainstream medicine to improve healthcare for billions of people. And in simple words, they can help you to detect any hereditary conditions such as cancer and many other mainstream diseases that, touch wood, you may or may not realize yet until it is too late. Next, they also have Square Inc., which is an American financial services company led by Jack Dorsey, the former founder of Twitter. Square markets software and hardware payments products and aims to revolutionize the entire commerce value chain to help out small businesses through digitization. ARKK also holds many more great companies such as Roku and CRISPR Therapeutics, and more on that later. Its historical performance has been nothing less than phenomenal. Its 1-year return is 115.18%. Its 3 years annualized return is 41.39%, and its 5 years annualized return is 39.2%. And since inception, it has an annualized return of 30.97%. In terms of historical performance, ARKK easily beats the S&P 500 index by a huge margin. If you are someone that is looking to diversify into innovation across multiple industries, then ARKK is definitely the choice to go. Next, let's look at the Autonomous Technology and Robotics ETF with the ticker symbol ARKQ. ARKQ invests into disruptive companies within the energy, automation and manufacturing, materials, and transportation industry. These companies may develop, produce, or enable autonomous transportation, robotics and automation, 3D printing, energy storage, and space exploration. With a fund assets under management of $633 million only and an expense ratio of 0.75%, ARKQ is currently trading at $76 per share, with a 52-week low of $26 to a 52-week high of $78 per share. ARKQ's top 10 holdings include Tesla, Materialize NV, a Belgium-domiciled company and is one of the largest and most long-established independent companies in the 3D printing additive manufacturing sector. 3D printing has been the uprising sector that can disrupt many industries at one go. Imagine having the capability to 3D print an entire building, jet engine parts, human implants, healthcare products, and so many more with a very low lead time. How game-changing that will be. ARKQ's second largest holding is 2U Inc., an American educational tech company that contracts with non-profit colleges and universities to offer online degree programs. They aim to disrupt the higher education market with a whopping opportunity of $1.9 trillion worldwide. And with the ever-increasing demand of online classes and lectures thanks to COVID, more and more higher institutions have been forced to move their classes into online classes, which in turn means more opportunity for companies like 2U Inc. ARKQ also holds many more disruptive companies such as C-Links, a big data processing company, and Proto Labs Inc., who is also a 3D printing company servicing markets such as medical devices, electronics, appliances, automotive, and consumer products. Looking at ARKQ's historical performance based on market price, we can see that its 1-year return is 81.04%, with a 3 years annualized return of 23.55% and a 5 years annualized return of 28.24%. And according to ARK, the autonomous ride-hailing opportunity should be worth more than $1 trillion today, $5 trillion by 2024 and $9 trillion by 2029, and that will represent a 9x opportunity for ARKQ. ARKQ is indisputably an ETF not to miss out if you are keen to invest into disruption for the manufacturing and autonomous industry. Moving on, we look at next generation internet ETF, ticker symbol ARKW, and this is my favorite ARK ETF by the way. ARKW invests into innovative internet technologies including cloud cloud computing, big data, digital media, e-commerce, blockchain technologies, and the Internet of Things. With a fund assets under management of $2.4 billion and an expense ratio of 0.76%, ARKW is currently trading at around $146 per share, with a 52-week low of $40 to a 52-week high of $155 per share. Some of ARKW's top holdings include Tesla, again, Roku Inc., a US company that manufactures a variety of digital media players for video streaming and aims to disrupt the television and streaming industry. Don't mistake Roku's media streaming device with your Android TV box, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, or Google Chromecast. Since Roku itself is also an advertising company, they are able to run its own ad-supported movie channel, allowing it to monetize advertisers targeting a specific group of audience. Pretty much like how Google and Facebook revolutionized the entire advertising industry through Google AdSense as well as YouTube AdSense. Next, we also see ARKW hold companies such as Square, Zillow Inc., who is a tech-centered real estate company, Facebook, Pinterest, and Sea Limited, who is the parent company of Shopee. And if we were to look at ARKW's historical performance, its 1-year return is 123.14%, with a 3 years annualized return of 45.56% and a 5 years annualized return of 43.24%. That's it. ARKW remains something that I'm heavily bullish on, and on top of the position that I already have in my portfolio, I plan to buy more shares of ARKW, and that is the conviction that I have for this ETF. Next, we look at the fourth ARK ETF, which is the Genomic Revolution ETF, ticker symbol ARKG, which arguably is the hardest to understand, and you will see why in a moment. ARKG invests into innovative biotech companies with elements including gene therapy, bioinformatics, bio-inspired computing, molecular medicine, and pharmaceutical innovations. With a fund assets under management of $2.3 billion and an expense ratio of 0.75%, ARKG is currently trading at $93 per share, with a 52-week low of $24 to a 52-week high of $108. ARKG's top holdings include Invitae Corp, whom is a genomics company engaged in genetic screening and testing, basically allowing you to test for a wide range of diseases at a very low cost. Next, ARKG also holds CRISPR Therapeutics that research into CRISPR gene therapy, which basically means modifying genes via disruption, correction, or replacements, hence providing diagnostic and treatment of diseases such as cancer. Their third largest holding is Pacific Bioscience, a biotech company selling gene sequencing systems throughout the world. Gene sequencers technology enables treatment of diseases using personal genetic information. Looking at ARKG's historical performance, its 1-year return stands at 122.43%, with a 3 years annualized return at 37.28% and a 5 years annualized return at 29.35%. As mentioned earlier, ARKG is arguably the hardest to understand, especially if you are not from the biotech or genetic engineering industry. Well, at least not for me, but if you are into this field, why not let Cathie and her team handle your money for you? Lastly, we look at the fifth and final ARK ETF, the Fintech Innovation ETF, ticker symbol ARKF. ARKF invests into innovative fintech companies with elements involving mobile payments, digital wallets, peer-to-peer lending, blockchain technology, and risk transformation. With a fund assets under management of $674 million and an expense ratio of 0.75%, ARKF is currently trading at $49 per share, with a 52-week low of $17 to a 52-week high of $52. ARKF's top holdings include Square Inc., again, Mercado Libre, an Argentine company that operates online marketplace dedicated to e-commerce and online auctions. It is the largest online e-commerce platform in Latin America and has successfully disrupted the retail industry in that region. Its fintech platform, the Mercado Pago, enables the underserved population in Latin America to send and receive payments online in a secure and timely manner. ARKF also holds Zillow, Pinterest, Tencent Holdings, and Sea Limited that we all know and love. Looking over at its historical performance, ARKF ARKF's 1-year return stands at 86.88% and has an annualized return of 51.87% since inception. Notice there are no 3 or 5 years return here, as ARKF is the youngest ARK ETF that has only been incorporated since April of 2019. With the ever-increasing use cases for online payments and e-wallets, we can expect more growth to come for this ETF as we witness the digitization of the entire finance industry. Rightfully so, ARK said that in the US, the digital wallets could be valued at $800 billion by 2024, which represents 27x the $29.5 billion today. After going through all of the individual ARK ETFs, let's compare their historical performance from a bird's eye view. From here, we can see that all of the ARK ETFs generally beat the S&P 500 index by a huge margin. On a 1-year return basis, ARKW and ARKG is neck to neck and leads the pack at over 140%. On a 3-year annualized return basis, ARKW and ARKG is also leading the pack at over 50%. On a 5-year return basis, however, ARKW and ARKK leads the pack at over 40% annualized return. And if we were to compare the entire ARK ETF performance since inception and ruling out ARKF since it is relatively new with only 1-year track record, then ARKW is the clear winner with an annualized return of over 40% since its debut. So after going through all the data and statistics, the next question that you are going to ask me is, how can I invest in ARK ETFs? Here's the answer to your question. I've identified a few brokers that you can use to invest in ARK ETFs. First, you have Interactive Brokers, then you have TradeStation Global, which is part of Interactive Brokers, TD Ameritrade, Tiger Brokers, Webull, FSM1 Singapore, First Trade, Saxo Bank, Tastyworks, eToro, which is CFD basis only, and eToro does not support ARKG and ARKQ since they are both not listed on the New York Stock Exchange. And lastly, you can also invest via your local Malaysian and Singaporean banks' global trading platform. I personally use TradeStation Global Interactive Brokers, which cost me around $1.50 per trade. So if you are keen to open an Interactive Brokers account, feel free to check out on the top right corner where I made a tutorial on how to open an Interactive Brokers account previously. Alright, that is pretty much it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this one. Let me know in the comments section down below which ARK ETF that you are invested in or you are looking to invest into. It will be super interesting to know your choice and tell me why, so that the entire community here can read and see which is everyone's favorite. With all said and done, the usual disclaimer applies. Know that this is not an investment advice and no investments has guaranteed return. So always do your own research before you make any investing decision. Alright, thank you very much for watching. Stay safe, stay invested, and as usual, I will see you in the next one.